Okay, in this first little bit of video, I wanted to show you that number one, the base is done. It came out really nice. I made it about a centimeter and a half thick because I wanted to have the extra in case I wanted to go in, excavate down, and mount something within. Then this morning, where did I put? Here they are. I made tiny dollhouse patterns and templates. I had a really good morning in that everything that I had on my to-do list for this morning, I got done by lunch. I was so excited about that. But I created these two. And you can kind of see here on the dull part, I haven't gotten all of the sealant on them. I need to do a little bit more sealing on the inside, and you can see I built the 4 main walls out of gray board and then put a couple of, I'm sorry about that car, a couple of supports in here for the ceiling. You can kind of see them like that. And then a couple of little supports here. And I think I may put one more here, just in case. I know this sounds weird, but I want to make sure it's solid. I didn't want the roof line to be as thick as the gray board, so I just took 2 pieces of carton board. Just carton board. That'll focus. You know what I'm talking about. Carton board. Okay. And made the roof, and I also made the chimney. Now the chimney, I roughed one out really quick to see how I wanted it to go, and I made this one originally, and you can see it's kind of clunky and not together very well. The measurement's horrible. So then I went through and just measured, because it needs to be in the middle, and it's not in here permanently. I just cut the hole, and then I'm just gonna mount this whole thing inside, but I need to do this stuff on the outside first. So I'm gonna pop that back in there so I don't lose it. There. And then this one it's interesting, because you're probably wondering, where does this house come from? Because we've seen this house before. We've seen this house a lot. I'm starting to call this the Herald house. I added a little bit more sealant there on the inside, and I think I'm going to put one more, maybe 2 more supports here on the bottom so it doesn't squeeze. You can see it just squeeze in just a little bit, so I think 2 will do it. This house right here is based upon I believe it's 1945 to 1947. I have to go back and check my dates. It was a dollhouse made by Keystone. It's the dollhouse that my mother had as a child. She wasn't really into dollhouses and dolls, so when I got to play with it, when I received it as a child to play with, and I do have the dollhouse, it's in storage right now, it was almost pristine, and I fell in love with the dollhouse. And I've done some sketches, and there's a door, and there's a window, a couple windows here, and some little painted bits on the side. I went ahead and decided to not open up this backside, simply because I want these as elements. Ooh, that's crickety. These are elements that will be used, and I intend on, how do I put it? There's an image that the Herald house that is in another piece that I made, in which it's basically flat colors with where the windows are, and I think that's what I'm going to do in this one. And I'm going to do with this one. This one may be a little bit more involved because it had this really neat little, the door is here, and there was a small curved piece of wood above the door, and 2 steps to get up to the door that I think I want to add to, because they make it very quintessentially that dollhouse. And my mother had the red version, which I think is way prettier than the blue version. So it was white with red trim and little green, it was very almost 50s, colonial revival. One of the doors on the edge. Looks very colonial revival. It has like a big strap hinge on the door, and it's a Dutch door with a door that opens. But yeah, I wanna put. I'm gonna do something similar in that I'm gonna paint the windows and the shutter. I'll decide what color I want to paint it in a bit. Now, I also this morning put together papers, but I can kind of show you one. This was just a little experiment paper, which I'm like, this is kind of interesting. One of my favorite things to use is bubble wrap. And I was using this as a blotter paper. And then, of course, almost as always, this is what I think looks like really interesting and cool. So, these are the shades. I did one coat of paint on the first piece of paper, and then when I was laying it out to dry, because I did these a little differently, which I would really like to show you in this video, I laid them out to dry knowing that when I laid them out, I was going to come back in and rework them a little bit, add some more texture, add some more stuff. And I still think I may do some reworking, but maybe with pencil instead. We'll see. That may be something that waits until it's actually on the board. So I used some of the techniques that I used with the red paper that I really liked, and it turns out I think it looks really neat, but that's just, me. My intent is to get this thing wrapped by the end of the day. However, I may set that aside and work on the stairway rail instead, because that's going to take some math, and I'm kind of in a good mood, and not I'm kind of in a good mood. I'm in a relatively good mood, and I can do the math. Base 6. Woohoo! I figured it out. So I think I may just work on this and leave the papers until tomorrow, when I can really look at them. Does that make sense? I'm sure that makes sense. Okay. I think I'm going to leave this as a short video, and do something with the papers and the base tomorrow. I think I want to show you how I actually cover the base. So I'll leave the papers till tomorrow, and I'll work on this instead. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Okay, so patrons, thank you very much for believing in me and throwing me your financial support. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.